Hello Grizzlies, my name is Whisky Wolf. I served 17 years as an elite Royal Marine Commando. I'm a best-selling author of 4 books. I've led men into war 4 times, jumped out of planes, escaped a kidnapped attempt in Iraq, and got all sports shorts banned from the DVLA. I'm a survival expert in the Arctic, jungle and desert. I've travelled the world lone wolf, lived homeless in the UK and the notorious migrant camp in Calais, France. I then crossed the English Channel in a 9-foot dinghy, unsupported, undetected at night. I am founder and pioneer of Tramp Face, Salute Charity and my small business that I dragged through the disaster of COVID. My Wolfpack is made up of my half Welsh, half American daughter, my Hungarian Vizsla puppy and our friends, the Grizzlies. That's you. Together, we are going to wolf the world. Because
You're gonna be a bear, you may as well be a grizzly.
Morning Grizzlies, 6 a.m, Monday, and welcome to the first ever Wolf the World video. I'm Whisky. There's a Hungarian Vizsla puppy hiding under that blanket somewhere. I'm sure we'll rouse him in a sec, maybe. But before that, we're gonna give you a quick rundown on what's going on. Not gonna give you a big, long, protracted brief about my motivations and purposes and reasons for doing Wolf the World. Some big, long life story and background, because I want that to come out naturally. Along the way, as we're doing the videos and following my life and all the stuff that we get up to, it's just going to come out naturally and we can talk about that and we'll insert little bits about why and what. So what we'll just cover is some of the main themes of Wolf the World and it's how it's going to be following me and my life and why you'd like to watch that and why it will be interesting. So myself, I'm a medically retired Royal Marine Commando. I am officially a pensioner because I draw a pension, so it's an interesting stat about me. I served 17 years in the Royal Marines, long career, unblemished. Didn't get caught, basically, and went to war 4 times. I'm deaf in my left ear, completely, about 70% deaf overall because of my exploits. It's noise-induced hearing loss from loud exposure to loud noises. And I retired officially in February 2020, which was a month before the UK major lockdown, the first full lockdown for COVID, which was the worst timing ever. But we'll get into that. I'm a lone wolf. I've never been married. I haven't got a girlfriend. Live on my own apart from Sleepy. Let's see if we can get him up, shall we? Copper, come on. There he is. Daddy's boy. Hello, Daddy's boy. Sleepy. So just me and the dog living in Westy Towers, as we call it currently, and with that done a lot of things on my own throughout my life, mainly travelling as well. Got the nickname the Lone Wolf a few years back when I was in the Marines. Any time off I get, I just take off, get my backpack, didn't have a dog at the time, and just get off travelling and get away, start seeing the world. So we got that nickname of the Lone Wolf from that. However, I have got a little bit of a wolf pack going on as well. I've got my 9-year-old daughter M. She lives in America. She hasn't up sticks and just moved there. Her mother's American. She was born there, so she's half Welsh, half American. Currently lives in Georgia, so been out 7 times last year. She's been over here a couple of times. So now COVID's over, we're getting back into a lot more, going across to see her and her coming across. She's going to be joining me on a lot of this when she comes over to Wales, and she's got her daddy's lone wolf appetite for travel in her, and she's already put the demands down for this year for some travel. So that's going to be a new one for me, traveling with her, and it's going to be interesting as well and exciting. And we've also got, obviously, Copper. He's 3, he's not a puppy really, he's a youngster. He's 3 this month, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot of him and learn a lot about him along the way as well. I own a small business in Swansea, which I bought 5 months before COVID the worst timing ever. Again, first business that I'd ever been in. I'd been in the Marines for 17 years before that. So first time I'd gone into business, and of course I had 5 months, didn't even get out of the starting blocks, and boom, closed for COVID, and pretty disastrous period of my life, which we'll get into again along the way. But we're still here, the business is still there, which we're going to get to in a sec, once we get moving. And the rest of the videos and the log, I'm loath to call it a vlog, and myself a vlogger, but I guess that's what it is. That's what people recognise when you say it instantly and associate it with, so I'm going to have to call it that. For some reason I just don't like the word, but I'm going to have to use it. So for the vlog, how it's going to fit in is just showing how I balance being a lone wolf, travel, and I'm founder and trustee of a charity, military charity called Salute, SA1UTE, SA1 being a postcode Swansea, I'll play on letters. So I'm founder and trustee, that's based in my business now, so I'm the driving trustee behind that, so it's going to show how I balance the work, the business, charity, some writing. I'm an author, full-time best-selling author, including my autobiography, so it's another few books. I've started my 5th one. Side hustles. Business fell on hard times, of course, with COVID, so coming out of it, we had to diversify and adapt and think, well, what else can we add to the business now? What can we do to try and drive forward while things are quiet on the cafe bar side of it? So how I fit my side hustles in: bike maintenance, I'm a professional bike mechanic, pack testing, whatever I can sort of do in my spare time just to bring the business a little bit more income, mostly to pay the electric and heating bill currently. Audiobooks, built a little recording studio in the loosest of terms in my spare room, because I live on my own, so I can turn my spare room into a recording studio, like I turn my dining room into a sports bar. So I'll fit that in. Fitness, how I squeeze my fitness in to my daily routines. Food, I am not a foodie or a Gordon Ramsay of the world, or anybody who's got any real love or affection for cooking or anything like that. So that's going to be some learning points in itself. How does somebody who he's not really interested in cooking, he's not going to be cooking big meals because he lives on his own. I cook more for the dog than I do for myself. So I would do quick, easy meals just to keep me, all right, boy, are we awake? To keep me energized throughout the day. A few top tips, hopefully, life hacks as they call them, or things I've learned from my stumbling through this world, and try and pass them on to you. And then a big one's going to be travel. I've got a big year coming up this year, starting this week. This Friday I'm off to Porto, Portugal, with a couple of friends. We don't really drink these days, so it's not like a big lads boozing weekend. There will be some of them this year, don't worry, stag do's. This one isn't. It's a cultural trip, so we're going to get some bikes, we're going to do some normal stuff. So we start with that this weekend. I get back on the Monday from that. Friday I'm off to Brazil. 2 weeks in Brazil, or just over 2 weeks out there, and then they're going to keep coming. USA, see the little one. Then actually booked at the minute, we've got Thailand in March for a wedding, and outside of the wedding I'm going to do a bit of touring around on my own, lone wolf, see what's going on in Thailand. Not been there before, so that's going to be a good one to tick off. And then we got Spain in April for stag do, which I'm going to take my camper van, big Wednesday, down through France, probably the west coast of France, stop off in the van, chuck the bike in the back, do a bit of touring around there, before then get to Spain for the carnage of the stag do. So those ones are booked. There's going to be more in between. The plan is, with the business, on a Monday I'm just going to book short last minute flight somewhere in Europe, Monday to Wednesday, Monday to Thursday, so I can get back to the business for the weekend and just get off and see what's going on for those few days. And that's it in short-ish. And we'll get into more of it as we go along. For today, all right, it's gone 6:30 now. Monday, start of a new week, although that line between transitioning from the weekend into a new week, it doesn't really exist as much when you own a small business like a cafe bar as I do, because you're working all weekend and it's like Groundhog Day as such, and it just blends into the next week. But there are some things, of course, each day that have to be done in a routine. Got to get to it. So my routine in the morning is I'm going to run to the bar. Me and Copper, I'm going to get our gear on. So it's just over 2 miles, this route that I'm going to take today. I have got some longer ones when I want to get a little bit more. So it's not any sort of run to get some fitness levels up or burn a load of calories. It's just functional. I need to go to work. Rather than driving, we're going to run, and at least we get something out of it. You get a bit of fresh air, get a little bit of the heart rate going, and 2 mile run is better than no mile run. So that's the plan for this morning. Right, so let's get into it. Bathroom, not a lot going on in here this morning. That's because the routine I'm on for this morning is I want to get out of the house as quick as possible. So no shower, because we're going to be running to the bar after this, and that's going to be rendered useless within a few minutes. Although I don't move quite as fast as I did when I was in the Royal Marines. But yeah, so we're going to have a quick wash, brush my teeth, and then we're going to get dressed, and we're going to get out of here. So I'm dressed, we're nearly good to go for the run. All I'm going to be wearing is shorts, of course. You don't go running in trousers unless there's some sort of yomp across the moor or expedition or something like that. Doesn't mean you can't run in trousers. You can do that, but you can't go for the run in trousers. That makes sense? So it's shorts and just one base layer or a leafer top in old money. And that is, we had a saying in the Royal Marines, which was, be bold, start cold. And that got drummed into me from the very start. And it's something that's always stuck with me, no matter where I've been in the world or what I've done, what activity it is. I always tell myself, be bold, start cold. And that works on the basis that you gotta have that mindset that, yes, at the start line, before you start something, you're going to be cold. Your mind's telling you you're cold, right? And you want to warm up. But you got to tell yourself is what you're doing now at the start line and before the start isn't what you're going to be doing for the next hour, the next 8 hours, right? The next 7 days in the Marines, whatever it is. So it's getting to that mindset to go, once I start moving, I'm not going to be the same as I am now. Right, you're going to start warming up, you're going to start sweating, so potentially then using more energy on that activity because you're sweating to cool down when you were cold because you've got too many layers on, or then you have to stop and interrupt it to take layers off as well. So be bold, start cold. That's our lesson for today. Kit-wise, I'm going to take with me my, just the old military pussers, as we call, backpack. Don't always need one that big, but I got my Mac, got some spare kit for the gym and bits and bobs I need to take with me. So I'm going to take the bigger one with me today. Before I get going though, I'm going to do a quick circuit. Now this isn't a 45-minute to an hour circuit. I haven't got the time. It's not because I can't make time for it. It's because I don't want to do it. Because we're going to run to the bar. So it's pointless me spending an hour here doing the circuit and then running as well. So the run is getting our little bit of exercise in. So I'm just going to do 10 minutes of a circuit to start, just to get me warmed up, get the blood going, raise the heart rate a little bit, ready to set off. Right, warm me up a little bit because it is Baltic out there. It's -2 today, frost on the ground, which you'll see when we get out there. So I'm going to do 10 minutes of a circuit called Insanity from Sean T, if anyone remembers that lunatic. Right, I did it when I was in Afghan a few years ago and it's brilliant. Very camp as a row of tents, very American, cheesy, but brilliant. High tempo, full of energy, really positive, and it gets you going, wakes you up to start. So that's what we're going to kick off with, and then we're going to get Copper good to go and hit the road. Copper's still having a little snooze. He's not eating his food, so I'm just going to pop fresh mince there, fresh mince. So I'm going to pop that back in the fridge for him for later, and then we're going to try and get him going. Next job of the day, we're gonna try and get Copper's harness on him. He's not feeling it today. He's not up for the cold. Come on, boy. Come on. You gotta go walkies. Come on. Runnies. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Up. Come on. Paw. Good boy. And the other paw. Good boy, Copper. Come on in. Come on in. Come on. Good boy. Good boy, yes. Come on in. Yes. Not the best start to the morning. We got a leak in. That's my sports bar ceiling, by the way. The boiler upstairs is leaking, so I'm gonna put a box down and catch the leak. I'm gonna have to sort that out later. So we're good to go, guys. Pretty freezing this morning. Well, it is below freezing, about -2. See a bit of frost on the ground. And my van just next door, Big Wednesday. See ya. Copper's good to go. Ready, boy? Have it. So the way I like to do it with Copper, we're gonna start running in a sec. See, we're on quite a busy road, main road, but I'll run with him on the lead. So I'll have him on the lead while I'm running. And then what I like to do when I get to a section a bit further down, it's a little bit quieter. I like to take him off the lead and then let him free run. And there's a few risks with this, of course, because he's a dog. So at any point he can see a bird or a rabbit or something, whatever, and start off. So I've got to be aware. I've got to have good awareness around me, see if there's any traffic coming, which case I can get quite close to him and keep an eye on him. But other than that, it's worth the risk, because as you see, he loves it, and he can dart ahead, he can nip ahead if he wants, and then he'll wait for me. Or if he wants to stop and have a pee or a sniff, he can do that, and then he'll just catch me up when he's ready. So yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. Go on, boy. Go on. Good boy, Copper. So the road's a bit quieter now, so Copper can let him off the lead. He can run ahead when he wants. He can drop back, and then the thing is with Vizslas, they naturally get a bit anxious if they're too far away from their owner. So even if he's dropped quite far back, I'm happy that I can crack on, and eventually he's going to catch me up. That's good for me, because when I'm running with him on the lead, naturally he wants to stop, as he has there, and it jerks on me. I'm sort of, get down. I have to stop, but it sort of jerks me, stop abruptly with him on the lead. So just letting him do that, all those shuttle runs for me, I guess, stop, start. I can just crack on with a steady pace and just let him, and he loves it. You can see he's got much more freedom, and there is a bit of risk with the road and everything and him running off, but here he comes down, look. That's balanced out with how much he's getting out of it, which, as you can see, he's absolutely loving it. So it's all good with the boys. One of the things I love about getting to the business early, before it's open, is the 2 front shutters that you can see there. About 18 months ago, I had them commissioned to have murals painted on them by a former Marine friend of mine, and one of them is the emblem of the logo of the charity that I founded, Salute. You can see on one side, and the other side is the front cover of my first book, Tramp Face, with myself and Paul on there, Tramp 2, my best friend, who unfortunately passed away 2 years ago in a tragic paddleboarding accident in West Wales. So yeah, I was delighted to have that commissioned in memory of him, and of course to represent the charity. So it's great walking in the morning, seeing those 2 shutters down. Another cracking reason to get in early is we get a nice view of the castle in the city centre. Not much left of it now after
years of ruin, and of course the Nazi Luftwaffe bombing it during the Swansea Blitz in the 40s. But it's a nice way to start a day. We forget in this country how nice it is, having all these castles absolutely everywhere. I think Wales has got more castles per square mile than anywhere else in the world. So we made it. Morning! I don't know how to do that. I've seen some other people on YouTube doing it when they like arrive all artistic and all up for it to their business. Everybody's there working, waiting for their arrival, and I'm the first one here. So bar's all dark, ready to be opened. So we're going to get to it in a sec. So the opening procedure is all written down because I'm a good bootneck, and we like to have things all coordinated. To open up, not that I need it now because I've done that many times, there's a nice list of things to do, which you have to go through and check off. So once I've got you after the run, I'm going to do something very important, and that's stretch. Now stretching, as long as I can remember, I've hated it. Right? It's boring, it hurts, feels like a waste of time. Okay, it just feels like I've just been for a run, or I've done the activity, I'm done, and now like you remember you got to stretch, you're like, oh, I'm just prolonging it now, right? I'm just not a fan of it. In the Marines, it was a big thing. Whenever you did an organised run or activity, you'd stretch before, and then you'd have a stretching session afterwards. If you left to your own steam, you wouldn't. The sergeant or the corporal, I'd do it when I was in that position. Stretch off in the shower, lads, because we got stuff to do. The lads would go to the showers, they wouldn't stretch off, they'd have a shower, go for a cup of coffee. So it constantly got chinned off and mugged off. But as I've got older, I've discovered it is important, and massively important, not just for flexibility, but also found out after I stretch that my muscles just feel warm and tingly for a good few hours afterwards. And yeah, it puts me in a better mood as well. And I'm not going to stand here and preach at you and go, oh, I'm amazing, I always stretch off, I'm a really good boy, because I'm not. I still chin it off now and come up with excuses not to do it. But I'm getting a lot better at forcing myself to stretch and reminding myself of how good it feels afterwards. So it is really important. And today I'm going to force myself to do it. So it's going to happen now. So I've turned the lights on, we're good to go. I've changed out of the top that I ran down in, put a warmer top on. No shower yet still, because I'm going to be going to the gym at lunchtime. So all my bootneck Royal Marine friends will now be up in arms. He hasn't had a shower yet, he's been up for a few hours. All my army Pongo friends will be going, see, they're just like us really. They're dirty, they're crabby. So all we're going to do now is start turning everything on, go check the toilets, do my morning checks and make sure everything's okay. Make sure everything's been done from the guys the night before. What we try to instill with the guys with that is we don't want them to do things because they've been told to do them or they feel like that's their job, although it is. But we want them to think about the morning shift and think about when they're on the morning shift, because we all do different ones, and how they would feel if they came in the morning and they had some extra jobs to do because the night shift didn't do everything that they should have. That's what we try to instill in the guys and sort of the ethos we like to have around here. So yeah, I'm just going to go around now, get the shutters open last after I've gone and turned everything on and make sure everything's good to go. When I was serving in the Royal Marines, we had a saying. It was my weapon, my kit, myself. And that would be the order. If you're on exercise or operations, that would be the priority order that you would administrate yourself and your equipment with. So obviously your weapon being the most important thing. You want to get that maintained as soon as you stop. So if you've done an activity or an attack or a forced march or whatever it is, as soon as you get a bit of downtime, get your weapon sorted, because that is the most important thing you're going to need if things go south. After that, get your equipment, of course, and then you can have a bit of time to sort yourself out, a bit of comfort if possible. So I've taken that, maintained that into my life here. And my routine is, when I get here, is my dog, my business, myself, right? So Copper, you can see him, he's all cutched up there. He's got his heater on, so there's a halogen heater on right next to him there, because he's a freezer, he's a Vizsla, right? They're freezers, they hate the cold. I'm going to get him sorted before we start doing anything else. So his heater's on, he's in his spot, he's got, just done some water for him as well. he won't eat yet, so it's pointless in making him food yet. So I got a bit of time to wait until we do that because he just won't eat yet. So he's got his heater on, he's got his water, and he's good to go. So my dog and then my business, I'm going to go sort the business out and then come back and make myself a coffee. We're just going to head downstairs. We've got a basement bar, the Copper Cave, games room, function room, multi-purpose. Camo covering there. Yeah, we got foosball, the bar area, pool, and table tennis. And then toilets. It's Monday, so I'll have to go and clean them. Today, so we come into the cellar, we got all our fobs there and all our kegs, all good to go. Gas, chiller units, air conditioning, just making sure that everything's as it should be. Don't want to show you too much in here because it's top secret. That's where all the magic happens. All the delicious craft beer and cider. Bar area, going to get the ice machine, all the fridges, the glass washer. Right, get all the taps turned on, coffee machine, cup warmer, till system. Start checking all the stock, make sure that's all good to go. General cleanliness, guys have done a good job last night, so looking pretty good. So well done, guys. And there he is, superstar of Copper. Daddy's boy, he's got his heater on, vigilant, he's on sentry, watching out for all the scumbags. Honestly, he's the best marketing plan you could get. He's picked that spot from a puppy. I didn't train him to do it, right in the window. He must be famous on Instagram or something. He sits there, they take photos from inside, they come in. People walk in the bar, there's a dog here, no, see you tomorrow. Charming. And yeah, they flock just to see the superstar of Copper, the king. That coffee machine's getting turned on because I am an addict. Right, we'll do some videos for you as well to show you how to make some lattes, iced lattes at home when you haven't got all the professional commercial kit to do it with. One thing I have to sort out in the mornings, which is a little bit different to the norm in a general cafe bar, is the bikes. Just over my shoulder there, you can see our fleet, or some of them. They're all out now. It's winter, it's not that many of them going out, of bicycles. So after COVID, quite a difficult period, reopening, nobody had any money, nobody was coming out, and it was very fraught with danger for the business. So I've knuckled down and improvise and go, right, well, what else can we do from here? It's a pretty big unit. It's a good central location right in the middle of Swansea. A lot of links to bicycle paths, the beach, coastal areas, great for outdoors. So I thought, well, what else can we do? So I thought bikes, yes. And it's not like we're hairdressers then suddenly doing bikes. Bikes go hand in hand with pizzas, coffees, pints, dare I say it. After the bike ride, of course, after the bike ride. So all these things tie in, and it was a good natural bolt on to the business. So when you leave the Marines, they give you 3 years worth of education allowance to go and retrain in something else. So I used a portion of that in the summer of 2022, I think it was. Yeah, to go and do a professional bike mechanic course. Cost about £3,000 the course, down in Devon, 4 weeks in-house. So you're sort of down there on site in the college, in the workshop, doing the theory, doing the actual practical stuff with the bikes for 4 weeks intensive. And then you come away with, it's 2 courses back to back with a diploma in professional bicycle mechanics. So I went and did that, which then authorised me to maintain our fleet of bikes. So of course, you're lending them out to people, renting them out to people. People are gonna, they need to be in good condition. So then I can service them legitimately. Somebody has a mishap on the bike. Somebody comes along to investigate. Well, who's looked at this bike? Who's worked on it? Me. What's your qualifications? You. Here it is. So yeah, and an interest as well. I got a road bike myself, got a mountain bike. Broke my collarbone on a mountain bike in Ecuador. That's another story. A few years back. So personal interest for me as well. I wasn't just doing something just to add to the business and just to make some extra money from it, is personal interest in it as well. Plus, bolted onto that was the charity Salute, which is based here. Launched an initiative with them called Salute Cycles, spelt P-S-Y-C-H-L-E-S. So cycles, like it? Yeah, come up with that all by myself. Where veterans can borrow the bikes for free. If a veteran just pitched up and just wanted to take one out for the day, you get a discount. But if they got in touch with me beforehand, whether they're referred from a different charity or they got in touch with us direct, then we could organise them to borrow a bike, whether that's just for well-being or whether they're struggling to get around, maybe job interviews, maybe going to visit their children or family members, whatever it is. If they're in need, then the service is there for them to do that as well. Plus, on the side then, I can fix, service, repair, maintain bikes for customers as well. So people come in, like that bike I've got just down there, road bike, and I can service them. And again, it's just trying to adapt and think, what else can we do now, rather than just sitting there and go, oh well, the bar thing didn't work, COVID, oh, it was unlucky, yes, okay, it's not our fault. Oh well, we gave it a go, that's it. You go, no. What else can we do? How else can we drive it forward and just try other things? And yeah, it's done all right. So the business isn't relying on it, but it's just a nice addition to it, just to help when it is a bit quiet, especially now being January, to push things on. So yeah, morning checks have to come in, make sure nobody's somebody stole the front brakes out of one the other day. But yeah, having a quick check over the bikes. I'm not gonna maintain them and service them now. I haven't got time for that. I'd fit that in during the rest of the days or the rest of the week when I can, as and when. Cold today, innit? Take this over wind and rain any day of the week, me though. Right, so I've made it through my morning shift at the bar, all good to go. Golden Girl superstar Sarai is now in to take over the baton, take the reins. And she was late actually this morning, so tut Monday, so we let her off for that one. Because she likes a few mango ciders on the weekend, so probably still feeling it. I'm sure you get to see that when we start doing the karaoke episodes on a Friday night at the bar, front and centre, Sarai. So I'm gonna take the opportunity to get to the gym now. I'm gonna take Copper for a quick pee because he's already chomping at the bit. So it's midday, guys. Just off to the gym. Sarai, staff's come into the bar to take over. So now it's perfect time for me to get to the gym. It should be a bit quieter because it's lunchtime. Everyone should be in work, but after COVID and all that working from home, remotely stuff, who knows? But it's generally a bit quieter, so I can get across there. I run across there. I know I'm not running right now because the camera's jumping all over the place, but I like to run across there, get across to the gym. It's only about 500 meters, but it's better than walking because gets the heart rate going, gets the blood going, warms me up a little bit and gets me in that mindset. I tend to find if you walk across there, if you're not really feeling it on some days, which we're not, sometimes it happens naturally. It's like the walk of dread, isn't it? You're sort of prolonging the agony of getting there, thinking about it, overthinking it. So I like to just have a little trot across there. It's only 500 meters, but it's better than nothing, and gets me set up and ready, good to go when I get in there. And here we are, Swansea LC2 gym. Nothing spectacular going on here. It's a council-owned gym, but I'm not a fan of, say, a meathead gym with just the big weights-lifters. I'm not a fan of the ones where there's loads of Instagrammers, although you could say that's a bit rich for me because I'm filming everything. But you know what I mean. It's got enough to do what I need to do without being too up itself or too fancy or too basic. We've got pool and the sauna spa area in here, this little area here, and then we got the CV room just through that area there. And then upstairs is more of your weights, free weights and machines and squat, deadlift area, things like that. So I'm gonna stop talking and get grafting. Oh, I'm gonna do buys and core and abs today. Gym all done. Did start to fill up a little bit towards the end of my workout, but not too bad considering it's the first Monday after New Year. Thought it was going to be a lot of New Year, New Me's, which, by the way, I got nothing against, and I'm all for that. Anybody in the gym, right, trying to do something that's a bit better for them, for the well-being and their health, is all good for me. We do naturally get a bit frustrated when the gym does get busy. That's not whether it's New Year, New Me's, or people go there all the time. That's just natural. But I do temper that with the fact that it's there for everyone. It's not our own personal gym, and if it's busy, it's busy. Somebody's on the machine or the set of weights you want to do. You just got to be flexible enough. Try and do. I have a list of, don't just have sort of 4 or 5 things that I'm definitely going to do that day. I'll have a list of 10 or 12, which if I plan to do something next, and just by chance somebody ends up being on that one, I can just pick something else from the list and do that in the meantime, rather than standing there just getting angry and upset about it. So yeah, not a bad session. Just got to nip to Marks and Spencer's now, get some stock for the bar. I tried to do it yesterday, but it was a Free Palestine protest near Marks and Spencer, so they'd close the doors, police and extra security there. So I'm gonna nip there now, get some stock, and then it's back to the bar. Just back from the gym. Copper's getting anxious. He wants to go out, start barking in a sec. He's been chewing up Tupperware. You can see on the floor there, look, he's eager to go, so we're going to take him for a bit of play time down by the castle. Isn't it, Josh? Yes. He's just been slagging off the channel. Accusing me of being a 9-year-old American girl for doing a YouTube channel. He's on it now, so he's a 9-year-old American girl as well. So just taking Copper down for playtime by the castle. He is there. He's pretty good with the roads. He'll stay behind me now. Watch my 6. Copper. Right, he'll just wait, and then once I sort of stamp my foot and go to run, he'll follow me. Ready, go. And off he goes. So there he is. We got him down for playtime by the castle. He's pretty good. Yeah, there's a pretty main road there, but he's pretty good. Yeah, he knows sort of the boundary of it. There's times he'll come herring towards me when I'm stood by the pavement. People on the bus, they'll be looking on, aghast, thinking he's just going to go straight out into the road, and he just slams on the anchors, turns round, and goes the other direction. So when I first get him out, he's not interested in his toy. He just wants to have a sniff around, little nose, see what other dogs have been around here and what's going on. But what I want to do is, because he's a Vizsla, he needs a lot of exercise. This isn't enough, of course, to run in the morning. He'll have a run later. But what I want to do is, just in between breaks in the bar, to keep him happy, is trying to get him to burn a little bit of energy. But he won't be interested in his toy. So I've got to try and find a different way where he thinks he's been sneaky and he's stolen something and he wants me to chase him. So with that in mind, I've got a little trick up my sleeve, which is this empty B&M full back clip box from the bar. So I'm just going to strategically place that on the grass in a sec, so he thinks it's trash, rubbish. And then I'm going to agitate him, get him wound up, and then when he starts running around, you'll see that. He'll pick it up because he thinks I don't want him to have it because it's rubbish, and then he'll start running away from me. So that's the plan anyway. Let's have a look. Come on. Come on. Come on. And he's gone for it. Yes. And that's what we want. We want him to get into full tilt. There he goes. Back from the gym, back from playtime at the castle, so it's food time. For me, quick protein shake with a bit of maca powder. I'm not one of these protein powder fiends who's addicted to it and religious with it, but I'd like to have it when I get back from the gym because it gets something back into me, some nutrients and protein straight away, because I'll forget otherwise. I'll get distracted in the bar, I'll do something else, and I haven't got time to start preparing a meal. So before I have got time to get some food in me, I'll slam a quick protein shake in, and then I know I've got something in me at least, so if I do get distracted or delayed and I don't eat till a lot later on, at least the body's had something. So that's my routine with that. However, Copper's gonna go in a little bit more gourmet than that. His chicken is in the microwave now, so he's going chicken breast. He don't eat dog food, and I know I'll get slated for this by a lot of people, spoilt. He's never had dog food, ever. He'll only eat, apart from a bit of dry food kibble, everything else will only be the grade of food and meat that I would eat. So he's on chicken breast today, he'll have mince, he'll have steak. What else does he have? He don't really like the fish, but don't really like sausage. But yeah, mostly chicken and beef is the type of stuff he's going to have. And yeah, so that's in cooking now. And then I'm going to do something a little bit more to make it a little bit more appetizing for him, because he is fussy. So, meal time for Copper. As you can see, the chicken breast there. And I've put in it bits of pate for him. Pate is the one thing he goes absolutely mental for. He will not turn it down. I mean, it's chicken breast. Most dogs would be flying into that, but a bit of pate on there, and he's all in. Daddy's boy, yes. Daddy's boy, yes, I know. Hi guys, so it's one of my jobs that I have to do throughout the day, or some days, is a bit of bike maintenance. Not just on our fleet of bikes, but for customers. So this is one of my side hustles, side jobs. We've taken on the business just before, 5 months before COVID, and of course then managing to get through it, coming out the other side, things are a lot quieter, a lot more difficult. So I thought, what else can we do to adapt? So I did a professional bike mechanics course, got a diploma in that, and we do bike maintenance servicing on the side. Just got 1 year from a customer, pretty nice road bike, Pinnacle, which I'm going to do a service on. So it's a Copper efficiency service, £25, cheaper than you'd get in a sort of brand outlet. I've also got another customer's bike just over there, not so nice. But needs work on it. Needs a new derailleur hanger sheared off, so I need to get a new part for that. And then the one behind that is manager Mihol's one that he keeps breaking and giving back to me. So that's the jobs for today. So with a bike service, this is the efficiency one, so it's the standard level one, which you're going into. I'll do a full video for anybody interested in bike mechanics of servicing, replacing chains, puncture repair, inner tube replacement, things like that in full. We'll get you a link for that. So if you do want to learn how to do that yourself, you can. So just going to give you a quick overview of what a service it entails. And of course then if you want to get a bit more in depth on how to do it yourself, you can click on the link and go back into those videos more in depth. So tools we're going to need, well, things we're going to do, we're going to check all the nuts and screws, anything that needs tightened that could come loose
when you're using it, right, we're just going to get our torque wrench to make sure we're doing it to the correct torque manufacturer settings. So it's a safety check. So we're going to get a torque wrench, and yeah, it's all around the handlebars, okay, going down the frame and finding all those key points where we need to check to make sure everything's done up tightly. Then we're also going to do a frame check. So we're going to check the integrity of the frame, make sure nothing's been compromised, any major cracks, damage, warped, bent, or major dents in it. That again is going to compromise the integrity of that frame, make it dangerous. Just going to have a quick check over and make sure that's good to go. Then going to do the brakes as well. So front and rear brakes. These are mechanical disc brakes, so not too complicated. They're a bit loose, these ones, so we'll get on and we'll tighten and adjust them a little bit. Okay, and then moving on, we're gonna check the chain. So I'm gonna get my chain wear indicator. I'm just gonna pop that in, check that the chain hasn't stretched and worn. If it has, we can advise the customer, and it's down to them. It's not dangerous. It does affect ride efficiency. Let's see if they want to change that. We're going to give it a wipe down and then going to re-lube it back up. This service doesn't include a degreasing or a bike clean, although I do, being a good Marine, give it, just for my own sanity, give it a wipe down, a courtesy wipe down as I'm going on the parts that I've worked on. So yeah, we're going to check the chain and we're going to index the gears then. We've got it on the stand. Right, this is a Pedros stand, professional bike stand, £300 these cost, but they're brilliant. Sturdy, really good to use. I'm not sponsored by Pedros or anyone. We can hope, but it is the top of the range one to use, and we only have the best down here at Copper. So we're going to index the gears, play around and make sure they're shifting correctly and adjust them if we need to, and have a look at the gear cables as well, the inner cables, seeing if they're in sound condition or need changing. Other than that, we're going to have a look at the rims, make sure that they're all sound, okay, and the tyres then, making sure the tyres have got not worn right too much, got the correct depth, in good condition, and of course then inflate them to the correct PSI before we hand it back to the customer. And then other than that, we're going to have a quick cursory look over the whole bike and then just advise then on anything that we think could be changed or could be worked on for the customer to have a better experience from it. So yeah, that's what we're straight on today with a bike service.
It's home time today for me and Copper, and there's a lot more adventure coming up day to day in Swansea. But first, we got a little trip to Porto, Portugal. We've got a lot more action coming up with Marilyn, Copper the dog, and in Copper. We'd love you to join us and wolf the world together. So please subscribe, follow, watch out for the videos, and remember, stay grizzly.